But if you close your eyes.
Hey guys, it's Brooke. So today I have a little short and sweet video for you guys, and it is how to point your toes in jumps. So I've struggled with this for a really long time. I honestly still struggle with it, especially in toe touches, but I have really figured out some ways to help. It's definitely like a habit that you kind of have to break, because if you flex your feet in your jumps right now, you probably like developed that habit as muscle memory, so you have to change that muscle memory by consciously making the choice to change what your body's doing. So yeah, I'm gonna give y'all some tips. Hope y'all enjoy this video and it helps you guys, and I'm gonna get started. So the first tip is to not scrunch your toes, but point your entire foot. So I see this all the time when I'm coaching. I tell my kids, point your toes, and they go like this, and I'm like, no, point your entire foot. So there's a difference between just scrunching your toes up, which is a huge habit that I have, and that makes me think I'm pointing my toes. But in reality, when you're pointing your toes, you're actually pointing your ankles. So it doesn't come from the top muscles of your foot by your toes, it comes from your ankle. So you have to almost think about like rolling your ankle down to where you are pointing. So you should feel that from like the middle of your foot up to your ankle, and that's that pointing motion. The next tip is to always point when you are doing jump drills or stretching. So if you're in your splits, point your toes. If you're in your straddle, point your toes. If you're doing leg lifts, point your toes. Always make a conscious decision to point your toes when you're doing those drills, because it'll drill your mind to do that when you're doing your jump. To go along with this tip, I also want to say this really helped me. Point your toes like, how do I say this? Like when I'm doing an ab workout, I'm doing like scissor kicks or leg lifts or something like that, I always point my toes. Go ahead and point when your feet or legs are up in any sort of workout, because again, that drills your body and it just helps you get used to that motion. The next tip is a drill, and I'll insert a video, but it is using a resistance band to honestly not really strengthen the muscle, because everyone has the strength to point your toes, but to get used to that feeling and to strengthen the habit. Not strengthen the muscle, but strengthen the habit. I'll insert a video, but basically wrap a resistance band around your foot and you have to pull the resistance band towards you and like use strength so that there's actual resistance, and then just point, flex, and that one helped me a lot. The next tip is to think about pointing your toes as soon as your feet leave the ground in the jump, not at the top of the jump. Your toes should be completely pointed. If you don't decide to point them until you're up, you're not gonna point them. So point as soon as you leave the ground. And the last tip is to remember that technique is more important than height in your jumps. If I whack my jumps, especially my toe touch, if I really like go hard and get my legs up as high as I can in my toe touch, they are really high, but I usually don't land clean. I never point my toes, and a lot of times my knees bend on the way down. So it is a lot more important to have a level jump with pointed toes than an extended jump with flexed feet. It looks so much better to have your toes pointed. If you have ever seen someone do a beautiful toe touch, but their feet are flexed, it like ruins it. Okay, I know this video is super short, but I have looked up tips for this on YouTube before, and I've never seen a video for it, so I just thought I would throw some tips out for y'all. This is just stuff I learned from Pinterest, coaching, being coached, stuff like that. So I hope this video helped you guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.